Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Let's Talk with Annie Miles, an empowerment entrepreneur wealth building program. First, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Annie Miles. I am the author and publisher of this book here, Back to the Basics Life Enrichment Guide. It was published by Family Wealth and Success. That is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that I founded in 2011. This book is a life enrichment guide because it shows you and gives you the basic tools that you need to first become self-aware of who you are, what you're capable of, and detailing for yourself who and what you choose to be and the purpose that you serve in this life that you're living. The purpose of my show, Let's Talk with Annie Miles, is to discuss several different topics, not just becoming a wealth builder, because we are all wealth builders, and that's something that many of us do not know. We're wealth builders because wealth is not defined solely in the monetary form. It is not defined just by how much financial wealth you have. Wealth is your health, it is your family, it is your love, it is your relationships with friends and the people you encounter on a day-to-day basis. Anytime that you can give someone a smile or say a couple of words to them to help brighten their day, you, my friend, are a wealth builder. Okay, so those are some of the topics we're going to discuss. Of course, we will touch base on, the politics that's going on. We will touch base on social issues that we have going on out there in regards to our youth, in regards to the sexuality, that has become so popular right now. And I never thought in my 50 years young of life, years in this world, that would become a factor, So it's so many different things that we're going to be dealing with, but the overall goal is to empower you. Again, that's why it's called Let's Talk with Annie Miles, an empowerment entrepreneur wealth building program. Now you say, well, Miss Annie, how is it entrepreneur? What does that have to do with wealth building? Well, that's exactly what wealth building is, and to break it down just a little bit more further, I don't like to say simpler, but sometimes simpler is best. To break it down just a little simpler, okay, in order for you to become a wealth builder and understand what that means, you must first what? Understand and know who you are. What defines you? What is your character made of? What trials and tribulations have you been through that you come through on the other side wiser? What trials and tribulations have you been through that have taught you life lessons? So these are some of the things that we discuss, and believe me when I say to you, we're all capable of amazing things. It's just that we've been told that we can't for so many years and for so many reasons that it's a choice to adopt that. Well, I want to say to you, don't take that choice. Don't swallow that pill. Define who you are by what you want in life, by what makes you happy. Your happiness will never be the same as someone else's. And once we understand that, once we can really define who we are individually, okay, then we can understand how and why it benefits us to cohabitate together in unity in regards to respecting one another, understanding it's okay to agree to disagree. It's okay, to not have the same opinion. It's okay to not go for the same things all the time. It's okay to go against the norm, and it's being done, but we have to look at the way that it's being done. There's anger right now in our society, in our country, in our community. There's anger, and I know a lot of people say, well, look at the president because of the president. That's why I said we'll touch base on so many different topics. Because honestly, yes, look at our president. And I have that in my book as well. Again, it's Back to the Basics, Life Enrichment Guide. It touches bases on everything. But I did mention our president in there. And let's keep in mind, when his mother and father, when he entered into their life, they did their job in regards to wanting their son to believe that he was capable of amazing things. He was capable of doing anything he wanted to do. The life lesson that I feel our president, Donald Trump, has lost is the morality issue, the issue of compassion to a certain degree. I think he just got lost and caught up in that entitlement. We all teach our children, go out there, go for it. Don't stifle yourself. Don't be stagnated in one place. If you feel that this is something that you want, by all means necessary, work hard and go for it. I raised my two daughters that, believe in yourself. But at the same time, I also instilled in them, no one owes you anything. If you want something, you work for and you do your part to get it, but you don't do it stepping on others. You don't do it by being disrespectful. You don't do it by being deceiving. So these are some of the things that Donald Trump's parents, they've taught him. And when you're born to a certain degree into a lifestyle that there's really no need for you to be a laborer, there's really no need for you to actually have to work, and deal with, as they say, the normal part of society to a certain degree, for lack of a better term. I don't want to say Donald Trump and his family is not normal, but I'm just saying for us everyday workers, unless you actually have to deal with that, you really don't know the trials and tribulations that they go through. So that's why I say that. The other thing we need to discuss, look at who you are in regards to how are you raising your children. Do you feel because you didn't have, you want to make sure they have more? And is that right or wrong? Who's to decide that? Who's to decide if it's right or wrong how you're raising your children? That's something you have to ask yourself. I say to my children, and I also say in the first couple of pages of my book, in chapter 1, do not ever regret the things that you've been through in life, because if you do, you're doing yourself a disservice. If you were blessed to survive those trials and tribulations, failures and successes, then own up to it. You are blessed. If you were blessed to survive anything that you did in your life that you felt was wrong, don't regret it. Learn from it. Because it was a reason you went through that. Everything has a purpose, even if we don't understand it. But it was a reason that you went through the things that you went through. It was a reason that you came through it the way that you did. But ask yourself, what did you learn from that? What did that teach you? What extra value did they give you that you can pass on to your children, they can pass on? How did you become an asset to society as opposed to a liability? You have to ask yourself all these things, because one of the things I've also learned, again, in my 50 years young in this world, is that no one was born wanting, to be an alcoholic, a drug addict, a sex offender, an abuser. Things have happened in people's lives that have caused them to believe that is the only way they know how to live. That is the only way they know how to let out their expressions or express how they're feeling. It's through anger. It's through hurting others. So you have to ask yourself, but before the grace of God, that person could have been you. But the reason it wasn't is because you chose a different path. The reason it wasn't because you may have had somebody in your life that say, no, I see more in you than you see in yourself. Or you may have hit rock bottom and said, okay, after you hit rock bottom, what is the old saying? You have no place else to go but up. That's it. And please understand when people always say, we don't live in a utopia world, a utopia world or whatever, and I know we don't. You're absolutely correct. And I don't think we should live in a utopia world that everything is perfect and everybody, gets along. We need to have that, that line. We need to have that to say, hey, it's okay to question this. Why should it be done this way? Why can't we do this? I believe in that old saying, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but if you have a way to improve that wheel, make it more sturdy, ride more smoother, do it. The format is there, the blueprint is there, the foundation has already been laid. We just need to understand our part in it. We just need to understand and embrace our purpose for it. So that's what Let's Talk with Annie Miles is going to be about. I want to have people come on and tell me your story. This is, as they say, non-judgment zone. Come on, tell me your story. Talk about it. Let your voice be heard, because you may have something that someone else is feeling, or you may have been through something that someone else has been through, and they're afraid to express themselves. So they may need you to speak up first, so that way they'll feel comfortable coming forward. That's how we have to look at it. I always, when I speak to individuals, I do mentoring and life coaching through Family Wealth and Success Corporation. And I always tell everyone, whenever you think that you are alone, and whatever your situation may be, whatever circumstances you may be going through, if you believe that you're alone, let me say to you, stop, because you're not. You're not. I have been struggling for years to understand who I am, why am I here, what is my purpose. And it dawned on me, I would say probably 6-7 years ago. My father passed away. And those of you that know me, you've heard this story. I was like, okay, Lord, tell me what you want me to do. And it came to me in my heart and my spirit, do what you've been doing, but just take it to the next level, And I was like, okay, wow. And when I did that, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. When I did, pardon me. I'm doing this first taping here in the library because I wanted to have people come together to understand what being a wealth builder means. It's 2018. It was a meet and greet for entrepreneurs. And sometimes, people, they come out, sometimes they don't, but you don't allow it to stop you. So when I did it in Georgia, I had maybe 7 or 8 people come out. I started taping with 7 and 8 people. Don't give up on your dream. Move forward. Just believe in yourself. But as I stated in 2011, my spirit told me, just do what you've been doing, just do it on a grander level. And that's when I started my foundation, Family Wealth and Success Corporation, a 501c3 nonprofit. And it was mainly focused around mentoring and life coaching, the youth as well as, adults that was, living below the poverty standard level. So I just want them to know you can have a better life, but it's the mindset. Some of us, we've been told no so many times. We've been told we can't so many times. We adapted to that. And we don't no longer fight, against what we feel is wrong. We just accept whatever situation we are in, and we just, as they say, roll with it, make the best of it. Don't cause no dust. Just do your part and just keep your head down low. But why? Why do you have to keep your head down low? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you were created to be? And I can guarantee you, it's more than what you are right now. Even if you are successful right now, guess what? There's still more to come. Be better than your best self. I never say I've reached my goal, because I'm still here. So that means, guess what? I'm going to have other goals. You don't know everything. None of us. The greatest scholars in this world, if they get to the point that they don't think they can learn anything else, then they fail themselves, because we learn something every day. Every day you learn something new. I don't care if you take the same route to work every day. Guess what? Something new has happened on that route. You just haven't noticed it yet. Somebody else has walked on it that day. Somebody else done walked past you that wasn't there before. So that's what I'm saying. It may seem like it's a routine thing, but I guarantee you it's not. This world, it does so many things to us mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So many things that we encounter and the people we encounter. It sometimes takes a single word that can change your whole life. It takes a single look that can kill your whole life. And it's amazing the way that happens, but it's the truth. And when they say to you you have power in your tongue, absolutely. There's power in your words, absolutely. So use it. Use that power you have, because when you're building others up, it's a wonderful feeling, because you're building yourself up as well. You feel that value. You feel that worth, because guess what? You have now participated in someone else's success, and you have to believe that. I'm not telling you this just to be saying it. I'm saying to you, you have to believe it. That is what this book is telling you. Believe in who you are. It's all about you, 100%. And there's a quiz. It's not a quiz. There's an assessment that's inside of here, and there's no right or wrong answers for the assessment. But I recommend everyone taking it, because it's all about you. And once you get to that point of self-actualization, if you read it and you fulfilled it the way that you was supposed to, 100% transparency, you understand what I'm saying. It's not that difficult just to be kind to your fellow man, fellow sister, a child, your family, your siblings. Even if you've had, differences in the past, even in your mind, my family is chaos. Believe me, everybody has chaos in their family. If they don't, something's wrong. Okay, something's wrong. Well, Miss Annie, what makes you think you know so much about this? I've lived in this world. I've lived my life, and I'm not done yet. Destiny's still unknown. I have so many of my own issues that I had to deal with when I was a child, but It's how we choose to deal with it. And nobody can tell you whether you're right or wrong in dealing with your issue. So I want you to clearly understand that. No one can tell you whether you are right or wrong in the things that you go through. You know, that's something you have to truly figure out on your own. When I'm doing my mentoring or I'm doing life coaching, I always tell, the person sitting across from me that's telling me their story. I said, before we get started, let us be clear. Annie Miles have no heaven or hell to put you in. And any information that I give to you, any recommendations or resources or, comments I give to you, it is 100% and solely based on the information you've supplied me with. Now, it is your choice when you leave from my presence to take that advice, to take those resources, take those tools, take that information and move forward, or you can take it and act like it was never given to you. That's your choice. But none of it is subjective or how my personal feelings may or may not be, because that's not what I'm here for when people are talking to me. When you're talking to me, I'm listening to you. And it's 100% objective, because I only know what you're allowing me to know of you. And that's what most people don't understand. When they say, oh no, I know him and I know her. You only know what people allow you to know of them. And I don't care how many years you've been knowing them. What may be familiar to you is that they're going to respond certain ways during certain situations, under certain circumstances. That part you can confirm. I know this person. I know that's why they respond that way. That seems like something that they would do. Yeah, because you may have been around them long enough to see them in those situations, in that circumstance, under those whatever reasons or what may or may not have been. You will see that. But that same token, you only know what they want you to know of them. And that's why when so many things have happened in our society, with these pastors and these doctors and these coaches and these teachers and these principals, and everyone's so shocked, I say to my children, that person is human just like you and I. That position that they carried was just a title. That's it, And you only knew what that person wanted you to know throughout that capacity of time that you were there in their presence. And it doesn't matter if it was every day, because of course if you're a principal, you're in the school every day. Your students see you every day. Your teachers see you every day. Your faculty members, your janitors, they see you every day. My daughter, my youngest, and I always tell the story. So those of you again that know me, I'm going to tell the stories, because these were things that happened in my life and my children's life that held so much, I can't even think of the right word to give it right now, but the incident that occurred, the situation, the circumstances, whatever it is, it had such an impact on myself and my child that's something that I always bring to the table when I'm trying to get people to understand the importance of understanding who you are, and the importance of respecting one another, and the importance of being non-judgmental. My daughter has always made the principal's list the entire time she's been in her school, from junior high on up. Okay, because back then they didn't have the principal's list in elementary. But from junior high on up, she's always made the principal's list, the honor roll, so on and so forth. So her principal got arrested in her school for buying crack cocaine by an undercover officer. And when my daughter came home to me and she told me that story, and she said, Mommy, what is the purpose in making a principal's list if the principal gets arrested for crack cocaine? And I looked at my child and I said, let me explain something to you. When you make that choice to sit in that chair and to absorb that education and to learn all that you can learn, and you push yourself past the immediate boundaries in front of you, that you excel even further, and because they've set certain standards for what they deem to be great. Oh, if a child does this much, then yes, she's made your honor roll. If a child does this much, she's made the principal's list. This and that. Okay, that's what you take from that you've done everything you're supposed to do to reach that goal that they've set. You're not doing it because you want to get a pat on the back from that person. Because that person is human just like you and I, my child. That person is human just like you and I. You only see your principal when he comes to that school. What he does in his personal life, you have no idea. So don't be shocked, because there are going to be other things in this world that's going to shock you. And then we started hearing about the pastors and then, other things. So I said to her again, that man that you see standing up at that pulpit, okay? Because he's wearing, that fancy silk robe, whether it be white, black, red, purple, whichever one he chose to put on that day. But he's standing up in that pulpit, and he has everybody listening to every word that he says, and praising him for saying the things that he's saying and clapping for him and applauding, Guess what? And then we find out that this same person that we were applauding for and clapping for were molesting children. Baby, again, he puts his pants on one day at a time like you and I. If you cut him, he will bleed red blood just like you and I. Okay, so that person right there is only human. People that chose to praise him, that was their choice. I don't want you to feel you have to praise anyone. You look at them for who they are, because you have no heaven or hell to put them in, but you can believe that their judgment day will come. And she always said to me, Mommy, how you take it so calm? Baby, I didn't always take it this calm. Please believe me, your mama was a rebel back in the day. Okay? Annie Miles was a rebel back in the day, and those that know me know that to be true. I've always spoke my mind. It got me in trouble quite a few times, but I've always spoke it. The shirt I'm wearing today, it says, follow your own path. Everything that I do and that I wear and that I say, I try to make it to a certain degree that it does make a statement. Because every day you walk out of your home, you are a representation of yourself. And this is why I say to people, you are your greatest asset. So if you're walking around angry and you're upset or you're depressed, you can't blame others on the outside for that. Even if they participated in a situation or circumstances that may have you in that state of mind. But you have to say to yourself, how much power am I going to give them? Because at the end of the day, it boils down to you. You stressed out, I got to pay my bills, I got to do this for my kids, I have to do that. I've been through that as well. My daughters would tell me, we don't never see you cry. I said, baby, plenty of times I was inside that bedroom crying. When y'all heard that music blasting, that was mommy in there crying. It made no sense for me to come out and cry for y'all. You were children. Your job wasn't to stop me from crying. You couldn't pay any bills. You were children. So I gave you, as best as I could, that freedom to be children, Did you have rules and chores and things you had to follow? Absolutely. But you were at an age that you should still be able to enjoy that age. I kept saying to them, stop rushing to grow up because you have no idea. When that time comes and you have to pay bills and you have to be responsible for somebody else, you'll see a whole nother outlook on life. And hey, I was right. Ask any one of my daughters right now. I have 2 of them. Ask any one of them. They'll say, yo, God, here she goes. Because it's the truth. It is the truth. I don't regret what I've been through because he's blessed me to survive it. But does it mean that I have not been through some things? Oh, please, no. I've been through a great deal. And by his grace and mercy, I have. And when I started my nonprofit organization, they say to you, when you have a 501c3 nonprofit, you have to separate, church and state and so on and so forth. So I always say to people, and some people they do have different beliefs. But I always say to people, I thank God every day for everything that I've been through, for the trials, tribulations, successes, failures, and starting all over again. I thank him for the fussing and the screaming and hollering I went through with my children, because it made me strong, it made me better, it made me understand that I wasn't even always right as a parent. But deep within my heart of hearts, I did the best I could as a parent, and that's what I explained to my children. My daughters are 10 years apart. They both was raised differently because I was a young girl raising my oldest. I was 17 years old, raising another life, and still trying to live my life at the same time. That's hard. That's hard. And then 10 years later, I know more. I have a degree. I've lived a little bit longer. I've heard a little bit more. I've survived a little bit more. I've understood a little bit more, So, yeah. And my degree is not in psychology. I love my psychology class, okay? But my degree is in criminal justice and paralegal. I love the law and I wanted to be a lawyer. So you have to honestly know who you are. When I wrote this book, Back to the Basics, Life Enrichment Guide, I wrote this book because I said I had got to a point in my life that I finally knew who Annie Miles is. I finally understood who she is. I finally understood what her purpose was. I finally understood that it was okay to go through everything that I went through. And I now understand that I am thankful for everyone that I have encountered in my life, good, bad, or indifferent. Because when you look back on your life, you ask yourself, how did I impact it? How did I impact society? Was I an asset or was I a liability? And again, please understand wealth building is not about finances only. And please don't think if you are in a low income situation or you struggling with 2 jobs trying to take care of 5 kids, or if you by yourself and you can't find a job because you don't feel you have the education to back you up, you're still here. That means you still have time to do all of those things. If you're surrounded by individuals that always telling you, oh, you can't do it, just be satisfied with it, don't make no waves, don't kick up no dust. I'm gonna tell you what one of my daughter's grandmothers said to me: don't let no grass grow on your feet. Okay? That's what she said, don't let no grass grow on your feet. I never understood that. I understand that now. You don't have to settle for where you are. And my daughter, my oldest one, told me that. She said, Mommy, if you've done nothing else, she said, you did teach me I don't have to settle for my circumstances. Because I used to pick up and just move. I kept saying, Lord, it's got to be something better than this, and I would go. Now, I was doing it for 2 reasons. One, I was running away from the issues and circumstances I was going through, because I just, instead of dealing with it, just run. As my grandson, And then I also realized, I kept saying, I don't have to be here. We have options is a beautiful thing. Choices is a wonderful thing. Take advantage of it. Step out on faith, because that's what it is. And if you're not that spiritual person, then when I say this to you, please don't take offense to it. I mean, I have no, if you cannot, it's up to you. I'm still going to say it. Let's be clear. I'm founded and grounded on who I am. But let me say this to you, okay? If you don't take chances in this one life you have, you will never understand or reach your fullest capabilities. Never. Life is about taking chances. You came out the womb screaming and hollering. Keep screaming and hollering. Keep kicking. So many things that we can talk about. Again, it's Let's Talk with Annie Miles. I want to hear you. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what's on your mind. I want to hear any topics you want to discuss. I want you to come on and let your voice be heard. That's what I want. Let's Talk with Annie Miles. Come on. Tell me what you're going through. Share your voice. Share your talent. I want you also to come on, promote yourself. I started this years ago. I was only 17, 18 years old when I started my first public access show called Star Communications. It was a self-help company. Come on, telling people about who you are, what product or, thing that you sell or that you do, that you want people to know about to help others. Because we are connected. It does not matter about our geographical area. We are connected. And there are things around you that you didn't know were there. And I can say this honestly because everything that I speak about, I speak through experience. I speak because I have been through it. I go through it. I'm still living through it. I'm finding out things around where I live now that I had no idea was even here. And as I find out about it, I participate in it, and then I share it. If there's something going on in your community and you don't like it, talk about it. Do something about it. Because just using your words is not enough. Do something about it. Let others hear your voice. Let others hear your concerns, because guess what? They may have the same thing going on. So you have to trust that. You have to trust it, and you have to believe it. Come on, Let's Talk with Annie Miles. It's an empowerment entrepreneur wealth building program. Be a 2018 wealth builder. You are capable of amazing things. Why not you? Barack Obama gave birth to him. Well, his mother gave birth to him. She didn't know she was giving birth to our 44th president. Donald Trump mama didn't know she was giving birth to our 45th president. Okay, and the list goes on and on. So I'm saying to you, why not you? Why not you? The only difference was they stepped out. They stepped out. They connected with others. Do the same. You don't aspire to be a president? Fine, don't be. I don't want to be the president. But you know what I do want to do? I want to touch people. I want to help people build up, because the greatest thing in the world is to help somebody else reach success, because that means you've reached it as well. We all have our own levels of success, but we're all wealth builders as long as we connect with one another to help each other move up. It doesn't matter what you're doing in this life. If you're a janitor, if you're a school teacher, if you're an executive director, help somebody. Help somebody else become a janitor, a school teacher, an executive director. Help somebody else that don't know what they want yet. See, we think on such grand scales and we forget about the small stuff. But guess what? It takes all those small things to add up to that grandiosity thing. I get passionate about this because it took me years to understand it. But I've been doing it since I was 17. I just didn't know what I was doing. I have been a resource for helping people since I was 17. And I had no clue because I was trying to live my life, raise a child, and everything all on my own. And that's where my trials and tribulations came from. But my greatest joy, it came from watching my daughters excel. It came from people telling me, thank you for helping me, Annie. Thank you for doing this for me. It came from 30 years later, I still have the same phone number and people calling me saying, guess what, Miss Annie, I did it. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And it's from jobs that I've had. I've helped people go, sign up for school. But I get that phone call, I graduated. I'm like, wow. Now, I may not have seen that person ever in my life, but I know just from talking to them, I played a part in them reaching their goals. That's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. You can't put an amount on it. But I know for me, that's wealth. Because that person, even though they haven't spoken to me in a year or 2 years, they remember that conversation that helped them make that decision to go back to school and get that degree. And that degree changed their life. It gave them a better quality of life. It showed them how to live a self-sustainable lifestyle. It gave their family a better quality of life. You don't understand what we're capable of when we just connect with one another, when we love one another. We just reach out and say, hey, let me help you. Another jewel I want to drop on you, and again, because it comes to my mind as I start talking, so I get so excited, okay? When you see people out there and they're asking for handouts, and you say to yourself, man, it's a scam. Sometimes it is, don't get me wrong, because I've seen it. And then sometimes you say, man, I really feel bad, I want to help them. Let me say this to you. If you're able to give a quarter, a penny, a dime, a dollar, $5, $10, $8, $100, $50, whatever the case may have been, thank you. Because believe it or not, whatever you have given, it was a blessing. It was a blessing. And so you're thinking, well, it was a blessing for them. How was it a blessing? It was a blessing for you because guess what? You was blessed to be able to give it. I was inside Walmart. Walmart, we all know. We've been inside Walmart. And one of the workers there, face was frowned up. And this was just the other day. Face was just frowned up. And I'm like, smile, baby. I said, you're alive. It's not that serious. Another day. Look at it for another day. He's like, nah, I'm not mad. I'm not frowning because, man, I just had to pay $100-something for some medicine. I didn't want to do it. I said, but you was able to do it. That's why you smile. You were able to do it. It's better to have it, okay, to pay for what you need than to need it and not have it. And a lot of us don't understand it. We're just never satisfied. We're never satisfied, Again, here's my spiritual part in, okay? I say this all the time. So God, we never said when it's cold, we're like, it's too cold out here. When it's hot, it's too hot. We just never satisfied. We're going to find something one way or the other. When I say we, please, Lord, I include myself in this as well. And when I find myself doing it, I catch myself and I'm like, okay. But guess what? We're human. We're fallible. It's okay. But be conscious of it. That's what's most important. Be conscious of it, We got to pay rent. We have to pay a mortgage. We have to pay insurance. But guess what? Thank you. Thank you for blessing me to be able to do it. Well, God ain't blessed me. I blessed myself. Okay. I'm not going to even argue with that. I just say, okay. And that's how you want to, okay. Because guess what? The same purpose is still being served. You understand that you did what needed to be done to help yourself. Okay. If you are your higher power, okay. It's all right. Just like it's all right for somebody to tell me, God did it for me. If it's the Farrakhan helped me, the Muslim, whoever you feel is giving you that power, that motivation, that faith, that hope to help you be a wealth builder, to help you become a goal seeker, to help you be an accomplisher, okay. Okay. Embrace it. Accept it. We're different. I'm glad. I don't want us all to be the same. What fun is that? What fun is that? How is that stimulating you in any form or fashion, whether it be intellectually, sexually, emotionally, and all, if we all just agree. Sitting inside church, speaking, because what they say about Christians, and I don't go through the Christian thing, anything like that. I say I am a woman of God. I am founded and grounded on His Word, and I do understand the power that I have from within. Okay, so with that being said, I'm sitting inside church, and I'm listening to these women and men say they're Christians, and telling me what's supposed to be done, what's not supposed to be done. And as they're talking to me, I'm saying, can I ask a question? From what I understand, the purpose of all this is to help each other, right? The purpose of this is to bring people into the awakening of themselves, correct? So how are you doing that if all you're doing is talking to one another? You both are reading the same book. Okay, you both have the same knowledge, but you're just telling to each other who's learning. Because to my understanding, you teach those that don't know. You give knowledge to those that don't have it so that they will become aware to be able to share it and move up. That's my understanding of it. For me to keep telling you and I telling each other the same thing that we both know, no one's learning, no one's growing. Because we're not, empowering one another. Empower each other to go out and share the word with those that don't know. Empower someone to do something that they've never done that's going to benefit them, that's going to be positive for their life, that's going to help them make a better understanding, a better awareness for them and their families. And you don't always have to do it with just the food and the... Okay, here comes that other part of me. Again, this is Let's Talk with Annie Miles, so I'm hitting on a whole bunch of different topics. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's about empowerment, entrepreneurial, and wealth building program. That's what this is. I'm going to say things because I want to empower you to be better than your best self. I'm going to say things because I want you to have that entrepreneurial spirit. I'm going to say things because I want you to clearly and decisively understand you are a wealth builder. You are a wealth builder. You are your greatest asset. And you can be whatever you choose to be, including the President of the United States. Again, why not you? And that was the mindset that Donald Trump took. Why not him? He knew the loopholes and stuff that was in the system. He knew how the government was run in regards to what would benefit him and that 1%. So he said, well, hey, why not? Why can't I be president? And now look what's happening. Now Oprah and this person, that person. Before, it was all just people that was in the political arena. So look what's happening now. Our society has changed so much throughout these 50 years in my world. And my grandmother just turned 97 years young. I never say, oh, she just turned 97 years young. And all I could say is, wow. Just wow. The women in my life have lived a long time. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful. I truly am. And I look at my daughters. And then I look at my 4 grandkids. I got 3 grandboys and 1 granddaughter. And I'm so thankful. And I look at their ways. And I look at what they're growing into in regards to this society. And I look at what they're absorbing. The music. The lifestyles. The emotional, chaotic behavior our society is displaying right now is terrible. I grew up in an era where, yes, your neighbors could pop you on your behind. Your neighbors could tell you go sit your behind down, and you was respectful to that neighbor. And again, I was a rebel. And my friends' moms would tell them, don't play with that little girl, because I was fighting my friends. They were my friends. Here, I'm going to say it again. I was fighting my friends. And they parents tell them, don't play with that little girl. Because my mindset, even at that young age, was, you going to be my friend, why don't you know I could beat you? And that is the truth. I was not a bully, but that was the truth. If you hurt one of my friends, we come to fight. If my friends said they're not happy, hey, you know how they say, if you're an enemy of my friend, then you're an enemy of mine. That was my mindset, because that's what I was surrounded. It was, to me, we call that loyalty, and loyalty is still very important to me to this day and age. So those of you that know me, y'all know how I get down. Okay, loyalty is very important to Annie Miles. Okay. And they would I've had friends for years, 30, 40 years. I'm like, thank you, and My attitude in regards to, if you need me, I'm here. If it's just to listen. Because everybody don't need you to solve their problems, but everybody also needs somebody to talk to. I know. I held the mail up one time for 3 hours in California. Those that know me, they know that story. Okay? We all need somebody to talk to. We all need somebody to talk to. So again, come on, let's talk with Annie Miles. Let's come up here. Let's have a conversation. Come up here. Let's hear. Let us see if there's others out there that share your opinion. If there's others out there that have been through what you've been through, they may be able to give you some insight on how to deal with your situation. So come on, let's talk with Annie Miles. You're going to be shown on the cable stations as well as the radio. We'll have a radio show coming up as well within the next week or so. It's going to be the same thing. Let's talk with Annie Miles. What are we talking about? It's an empowerment, entrepreneurial, wealth building program. Okay, if you want to write a book, I can show you how to write a book. If you want to start a business, I can show you the outline and plans that you need to start your own business, to show you step by step, okay, so that you're not overwhelmed with so many things that's out here. You have to be prepared. You have to be prepared and take control of your life. And the best way I can show you to do that and explain to you how to do that is to start at the basics. Start with yourself. Take it back to the basics again. The book that I wrote in August of 2017. It's called Back to the Basics, Life Enrichment Guide by Annie Miles. It is available on Amazon.com. It's also been inducted into the library, Hillsborough County Libraries in Florida. And I just say to you, just pick it up. It's a very easy read, very easy read. I'm working on volume 2 now, and I'm also working on another book that's coming out. It's going to be pretty shocking for those of you that know me. It's going to be like, wow, Miss Annie, you just don't stop. You just keep on going. I tried to stop. Again, I've been doing it since I was 17. I'm 50 years young. I enjoy it. It makes me happy. This smile is genuine, okay? It's genuine. So I love helping people. I love talking to others. I love mentoring. I love learning. I love life coaching. I love all of it. Why? Because it keeps me connected with others. Because to me, we are all connected regardless of our geographical area. I've had the same phone number for years. So if you have any questions, you want to come and participate, I definitely am looking for people to help me with Family Wealth and Success Organization. I'll need your help, okay? I'm looking for people to help me with the different programs. We have one program called I Am, I Can, I Will. I am God's greatest gift. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I will be successful. It's a mindset. It is a mindset of you believing in who you are, of you believing in your purpose. It's already been laid out for you. Believe it or not, the blueprint is there. You just need to decide when you're going to step up and make your print. That's it. When are you going to add your print to that blueprint? That's all you need to do. Then we have another program called Brothers Without Boundaries. It's other brothers helping each other. Whether you've been through an addiction, whether you've been incarcerated, whether you're going through a sexuality phase. Come on, let's talk with Annie Miles. Okay? You will find that there's others out there just like you, and they just need a voice just like you. And you can be that voice for one another. And believe it, before you realize it, it will grow. And you have 1,000 voices. Start out with 1, turn into 200. Start out with 1, turn into 10. But you still have a voice. Help each other. Then we have another one, of course, called Women on a Mission. And, of course, that's one dear to my heart because I love seeing other women helping each other because women, we're a species that's always hard on each other, And the part that gets to me is we know already what we're going through. So why make it harder by not being able to turn to somebody that should understand? Why watch your sister go through hardship? Why watch your sister walk out in the street in something that is not complimentary to who she is as a woman? It's not complimentary to her figure and the clothing she's wearing. Why watch that instead of saying, hey sis, let me talk to you for a minute. I think you look better in this right here. That looks nice, though. I think this look good as well. But why don't you add this to it? Hey, sis, you got a tag sticking out. Let me fix your tag. Something that's simple. Why can't we just be kind to each other? I didn't say fall in love and give away your money and sell your house. I didn't say any of that. I said say something nice. If you don't want to say good morning, say hey with a smile. My other thing is, again, we're going to be talking about a bunch of issues here, guys. Is let's talk with Annie Miles, whatever you want to talk about. But my other issues, if you are in public service, customer service, okay? And I'm speaking of fast food restaurants, or if you're serving the community, My dears, my dears, my dears, let me say this to you. Do yourself, do your employer, and do us as the consumers a favor. If you're not in the mood to be bothered with anybody that day, baby, don't come to work to serve me. Please don't. Because I don't understand how you going to come to serve me and you have an attitude. And you just met me. I don't understand that. And I know what, I got to pay bills. I can't stay home. You're absolutely right. But let me tell you something. Peace of mind is a beautiful thing. And you are not serving anybody coming with that attitude, because what's going to happen is you're not being beneficial to you and your family, because you're not going to be beneficial to your employer. And that one day that you come in and you have an attitude, and the person that you're serving could be the one that can cause you to lose your job just because of that attitude. It's not worth it. You never know who you're talking to. And it may not even be the person helping you lose your job. You can lose your life right now with the way this society is. It's not worth that. I promise you it's not. I've had this conversation with my own children. And you want to know why I had to have this conversation? Because I had to realize I had experienced that myself. If you're working in a capacity of helping others, you can't do that if you're not true and transparent to yourself, if you can't help yourself. And it's plain and simple as that. I can't say to you, welcome to Charlie's, or whatever, and I'm angry. Welcome to Charlie's. Yeah, well, that didn't make me feel welcome. You know, so we have to think about these things. Again, see how simple it is, but it's still important, because you impact a person when you talk to them. That greeting is an impactful greeting, negative or positive. It still made an impact, and when I say impact, it means it touched someone. Okay, it touched someone. Either they drove away from you, walked away from you, got up from that table of you serving them happy, or they got up upset that you were their server. They got up with nothing positive to say about your service. So what did that do? It had an impact. We need to be conscious of these things, people. We truly do. Come on, let's talk with Annie Miles, and let's have this conversation. Let's bring it out there to people so we can hear about it. It don't have to be in depth. I want to laugh. I want to joke. I want to smile. I do not want a Jerry Springer show. Okay? Let's be clear. I want you to voice your opinion, because you're going to be voicing to an audience. You're going to have an audience that's going to hear what you have to say. It's going to be a physical audience there with you, and then you're going to have millions of viewers watching. But again, you may say one thing and impact somebody. I mean, wow, I didn't think about that. You know, so please do. Again, let's talk with Annie Miles. It's an empowerment, entrepreneurial, wealth building program. I want you to come on because you are a wealth builder. I want you to come on and share your thoughts, share your ideas, share who you are, share your product, promote yourself. Come on the show and be a great asset to yourself. Let people know who you are. And I've never been one for social media. You know, I truly haven't. But that is where our world is at right now. The TV show, I love that. I've always done that. But everyone said, well, you got to get on Facebook, and you have to, do this with Twitter and Instagram. That's not me, because I'm just not trying to be seen like that, but I am trying to be seen to help others. So if I have to adapt to that, I will, but I'm still going to be who I am. So you can adapt to certain situations without losing yourself. I won't have my family members being, my friends on that Facebook page, because that would be specifically for that topic. People that want to come on and talk about building, what can I do for my credit? I can't afford to pay this. And that's another topic I want to talk about, guys. A wealth builder, if you want to think of it in a monetary form, okay, your credit. Your credit also says something about who you are. And believe me, we're not all with great credit, and I was one of those individuals until I started understanding you have to invest in yourself. Plain and simple. No matter what you do in this world, it is an investment in you. So if you're going through a credit program, make sure it's a good one that's not going to tell you make these monthly payments and all that kind of stuff, because then again, that's just adding another bill to you. But if you find one and they say, okay, well, it's this amount to look at your credit. And when they look at it, they say, okay, we can help you with this, and it's going to be, let's round it up, let's say $500, okay? So you're saying to yourself, $500, man, do you know how much that is, how long I got to work for, I got to pay my rent, this and that? Well, let me say this to you. That's an investment in your future. So that $500 that you pay now may later on down the line give you access to $5,000, $50,000, and so on. It may get you to the point that you can be a homeowner. Again, I'm saying this because transparency, I've experienced it. I've experienced successes and failures throughout my life, and I'm so glad I did, because it taught me so many things about who I am. It taught me about my character. So I'm grateful for that. I truly am. So again, come on, let's talk with Annie Miles. Let's get together and let's do this, because it takes one at a time to change things, okay? Be a part of that change. Be a part of that change. Don't just talk about the issues and situations that we have going on in this world. Do something about it. And you can do it just by sharing your thoughts and opinions, and it don't cost you anything to do that. But if you do it and you don't learn from the others that are doing the same thing, then you're missing the ingredient. You're missing the most important ingredient of that meal, okay? Because that's what this is. Our life is a meal, okay? And sometimes we just never know what we're going to get. The vegetables try to keep us clean and pure, but woohoo, look at here. When those starches come in and the negative and nasty meat, hey, it's a whole nother type of meal, right? That's not. Then, again, you end up with sometimes gumbo, jambalaya. Just a whole bunch of stuff mixed up together, So, come on, let's talk with Annie Miles. Let's get together and make this happen, okay? I look forward to hearing from you. You can reach me at email fwascorp1@gmail.com. Again, my email address is F as in Frank, W as in window, A as in Annie, S as in Sam, CORP, like corporation, the number 1@gmail.com. You can call me at 813-846-8669. And again, I give my number out without any issues, because Miss Annie knows how to hang up. Miss Annie knows how not to answer. And Miss Annie knows how to just hit delete. Okay? So, again, 813-846-8669. There probably will be another number that I'll be giving out soon once I'm inside the studio. Excuse me. Because we'll be having live shows as well, so you'll probably have another number on the screen to come up for you to call. But call that number if you want to get together to either schedule an appointment for mentoring, for life coaching, to find out more about the show, just to be a guest on the show, or if you want to be part of our sponsorship, come and be a part of our sponsorship. I would love to have you as that as well. If you want to participate in any of the programs, for the youth, the I Am, I Can, I Will program, the Brothers Without Boundaries, I really need some men to stand up and help me with that, or definitely the Women on a Mission program. Or if you just want to join Family Wealth and Success Corporation, just to help us continue to get the word out and help people in the community, I would appreciate that as well. So that's it for now, guys. Again, as my shirt says, follow your own path. My name is Annie Miles. This is Let's Talk with Annie Miles, an empowerment, entrepreneurial, wealth building program. Please go ahead and get my book. It's called Back to the Basics, Life Enrichment Guide by Annie Miles. Volume 2 will be coming out, I think by the end of May. We should have that one out. And it is published and also produced by Family Wealth and Success Corporation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. You can find this book on Amazon at Amazon.com. Just put in Back to the Basics, Life Enrichment Guide, or put in my name, author Annie Miles, so you'll see the book come up. Also, if you want to make any donations or anything to Family Wealth and Success Corporation, if you do shop on Amazon, you just go to smile.amazon/4506458812. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Again, this is our first show of many. So I look forward to hearing from you guys soon, and I look forward to seeing you again on Let's Talk with Annie Miles. Have a great day. Have a great, blessed, and prosperous day. Until next week.